What's the deal, yo? This is DJ Muggs. You watching Beyond TV, man, live from Los Angeles, California. Ask somebody, Soul Assassin, Cypress Hill, all day long, homie. Check it out.
So I know that you produced this entire album in your studio. What's it like to be in a position where you have that total creative freedom?
I mean, it's great. I've been blessed in a sense for when I first got into the industry, when I put out the first Cypress record, it was totally on my own terms, you know, my vision. So having a success early in your career just basically made everybody look to me and listen to me for any project I had from that point on. I'm sure if that thing went bad, nobody was going to listen to me, any of my ideas, and I would have had my whole career would have been chasing somebody else's vision. So, you know, as an artist, all you want to do is be free to be able to create your own art, how you want it and how you see it, you know what I mean? There isn't no right and wrong in creating art. So to be able to wake up every day and have that freedom just as a human being to do what the fuck I want, and stick my middle finger up to the world and tell them to eat an ass if I don't feel like getting out of bed, it's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah. So I read in another interview you said you were more of a Zeppelin than a Britney Spears. I mean, aside from the obvious merit of that, what do you mean?
Because we're real artists that really love what we do and we're passionate about our music, you know, and I don't sit out there like worried about what the radio is going to play and what video is going to play, and I make good music, and it's music that's going to transcend time. It's going to be classic music that's going to be here in 20 years, and if you look at it in 20 years, it's going to sound as fresh in 20 years as it did today. And where if you're a pop artist, you know, pop artists, you can kind of look at it and and look at what they're wearing and kind of tell that it's old, you know what I mean, and listen to the music and it doesn't transcend time and it kind of gets old, but it had its space at a certain time and place. Where artists like Led Zeppelin, that's a classic group. It never gets old. Classic doesn't get old, you know what I mean? It's always good. So we view ourselves and try to mirror our careers more after people like the Stones, Aerosmith, Led Zeppelin than before any other hip-hop group or pop artists. People, when they was just making albums and wasn't caring about daytime radio, that wasn't their main driving force behind them being an artist and being creative.
So when you're stepping into the studio, do you do it more to get that kind of creative freedom, or are you doing it to please your fans, or how do you balance that out?
Man, some days, you know, I'll make things for, it depends. Some days I'll just do work that's just work. Then other days you go in and just start throwing up paint on the canvas, man, see what happens. It's a lot of times what it is.
And the collaboration was really organic, right?
Yeah, definitely.
How did you kind of translate that in the studio? What was the process like?
What I mean by being organic was it wasn't a manager calling my manager to put us in the studio. It wasn't two labels. You know, it was just me and him connecting as artists and saying and having a basic understanding of what we was trying to create at this time, and going through some frustrations with certain people, being that, you know, the business side of the industry is just really industried out. You know what I mean? So, I don't dwell in the industry. I'm like, I've been fortunate enough to be in my own industry at this point, and so with that happening with Asia and Asia seeing it, you know, it's dope. And I refuse to, you know, work for this industry again and be part of it in the traditional sense. You know what I'm saying? So take a non-traditional approach, do our shit, make our music, and bring it to a label at that point.